All right, South Melbourne studios, here we go. We got Bernard in Adelaide, and I'm worried.
Why?
Fat's come back from overseas in the worst nick I've ever seen him in, physically and mentally.
Look at him.
Physically and mentally nowhere. You may as well have had a fifth week off.
You talking to me?
I'm talking to you.
Hit it.
Oh,
Oh, no, is this Kraft?
no.
It's crap.
What's he
Amazing race.
doing?
Well, I'm back. I've missed
Is
5
that the
runs.
Amazing Race?
Yep.
I don't even know what that music is.
That's Amazing Race, Jim. Of course you know it.
Never seen a second of it. Fat,
Great to be back.
we had Isaac Smith when you're away.
No.
Yeah,
Very, very good.
And funny.
One trick pony.
Good.
And funny.
No.
Funny.
Yeah, sharp.
Relevant. Relevant.
He listened to
Modern.
conversations, didn't butcher the language.
Came prepared. Actually brought stuff
Brought
in.
stuff, wanted to bring stuff.
Just had a
Whereas
gig on.
you have had 15 pots at the bot last night. You're in no form at all.
Actually, I'm not at my best. I
Oh.
must admit that, Jimmy. I got caught up with a couple of Bernie's friends there last
Yeah.
night.
And he's going to be distracted in the next 3 minutes because he hasn't put his early quad on yet either, Jim. So,
What's going
he's
on,
rattled.
Dave? What have I been doing?
What have you been
You're
doing?
about to jump.
I've been travelling.
Well, I tell you where you've been travelling.
Where?
Well, I couldn't work it out. We've had 3 conversations during the week about where Fat's been, and I couldn't, Leroy, understand pretty much any of them.
I tell you what, I've come back a lot.
I've come
Come
back.
back a lot more cultured,
How are you?
yeah, and worldly.
Really?
Worldly,
Give us
so-
an example of that.
Well, I can say countries like Namibia.
Has not missed a stride.
He's back.
He's straight back into it. What other countries?
Argentina.
Argentina.
I know the capital of Argentina, Buenos Aires. Beautiful city, Jim.
Buenos
Beautiful.
Aires.
Bonus. We like to say,
You say Bonus.
or BA, we call it, to be honest. Yeah, BA.
Namibia,
Namibia.
and Buenos Aires.
he got Argentina out.
Yep.
Great
Argentina.
country.
Yep. That's it.
I am worldly. There's no doubt if you travel, you become a lot more worldly.
Just lead us in a direction where you've become more worldly.
South Africa.
Oh, no. So you're now taking the piss out of their accent.
Yes, exactly. Also, Canada.
You've become more worldly, but you've gone straight back to type. You've gone to the Botanical on the Friday night, and you're putting your early quad on during the first segment of the Saturday Rub.
Well, guess what? I come back, open up the PointsBet account, and money in there. Because you can't bet overseas.
No, exactly. That's how you save money. I said to him, Bernard, that's when I gave him a day because I knew he'd be poor
Yeah.
day one. So I thought I'd give him to day 2 to see if he bounces back, and he didn't. And I was of the opinion that when he was in South Africa, I think he went somewhere near the game parks.
Yeah.
He got hit with a poison dart. They thought he was a hippo, and one of those ones you blow dart and thump into his Frank Thring, and it's got into his head. Because I'm
me in
not
the
sure
arse.
you've bounced back.
Got me
Take
in the
more than
arse.
one.
Did.
It took 3 or 4 days
It did,
just
yeah.
to work.
Now, Joel Selwood coming up.
Oh, Joel.
Looking forward to that.
Jolly.
Nuff quiz, news,
Yeah.
and a beautiful big helping. What's going on,
With Adelaide.
Bernard?
With the Crows,
P.
Bernard.
Vine.
I'm telling you, front page, back page, middle pages. They're rating everyone at the club here.
What are they
Mark
saying?
Rasciuto's got an F.
Oh,
Adam Kelly F.
Shoot.
Tim Silvers C. John Olsen F. Matty Nix a C. So they're rating him and they're talking about him. But I tell you what, they're underperforming. So their last 2 weeks have been horrendous. So a couple of months before that, not too bad, but they started the season poorly and it got a bit better, but it's fallen back in a
So,
huge hole. You
John
can't lose to
Olsen,
Richmond.
The president gets an F because they're not playing very well. It's his fault, is it?
Yeah, the chairman gets an F. I don't know, being a bit slow on the new facility, maybe.
How did the
I don't know.
CEO get a C then if everyone else gets an F?
I think because he's only 3 years in.
Oh, okay.
What
What did Big Rashoot get?
Big Rashoot got an F. That's as low as you can get. He's
F?
not happy with that either. He's
how would he
not-
be, Jim?
happy.
Do
He
not
would
go
be happy.
near Big Rashoot in the next week or so because he wants blood. His only way out of a situation like this is to fight
Yes,
back.
yeah,
so
yeah.
keep away from him. He's going to Waikerie for the weekend, long weekend.
God.
So good luck up there if you're around the place.
Fat was never happier. Well, and mind you, Sam was in the same bucket back in the footy show days. If North had had a shocker, both of them were very aware that what happened on field had nothing to do with me.
Yes.
We'd start the show. North Melbourne had come up, Bernard. And all I heard was those two jumping over each other. What is going on at your joint? What are you doing down there, you half-wit? I'm like, oh, right, I'm getting the boots on and having a kick, am I? It's just part of... So poor old Johnny Olsen, I don't think he deserves a hit.
Johnny Olsen.
Former premier.
What
He's
about
doing his
Nixie?
best.
Nixie, they coming for him?
He got a C. Justin Reed, an F, the list manager.
What about the big Texan?
Big Texan, he didn't get rated. Jordan Dawson, an A. He's been very
That's
good
fair enough.
as
Fair
captain.
enough. And Rankin?
No, not all the players. It's more. There's more off-field
Off-field.
people here than
geez.
there's only
So,
one on-field
Bernard,
being rated.
you got
but
front page, back page, and then a pull-out spread in the middle.
a lot of middle as well. Yeah,
Oh, no, mate,
Like-
that's a full book.
Yeah, well, the next step is a wraparound. So you'll know that they're going really badly when there's an 8-page wraparound.
No excuses now.
Love a
Heads have to roll is the headline in the middle bit, but then the front,
Crikey.
why heads must roll, the back page, it's all happening over here. But I don't know. The players have to stand up at some stage, don't they?
They do. Would have
Their
thought.
effort
do.
levels on field have been terrible, especially the last couple of weeks. So, lot happening over here. I don't know where this ends up.
You were on Dead Set Legends in Adelaide, I believe, today,
Yes.
Jim. What did you feel and detect through the mood? How was our man Rock?
Well, Rock wasn't happy. But nothing to do with Adelaide.
Not happy
He
with
wasn't
you.
happy about the fact that twice he's been burnt from this show. And I said, Rock, feedback's a gift. If you're not quite at the level, you just got to lift to the level.
poor old Ross.
And so, anyway, I said to him, look, it wasn't my fault that you got the
Yes, it
I
was.
said to him,
Yes, it was.
I said, Rock, I found it quite funny that you did. But I said, I don't know who decided to give you the ask, but in the end, you just got it.
Just to remind people,
laid
or
out.
people listening to us for the first time today, you once with 10 minutes before midday started Melbourne time, overruled Rosie, one of our producers, who had asked Rock only an hour earlier, could you
Yep.
please fill in?
No,
And you just said, no, we'll be right. We're right.
Hose had a second thought about it and said, no, he's
After
not
you
there.
told him.
He's not there. So anyway, he's just a bit flat, Rock.
Just delayed out twice.
Now, I
That's
understand
okay.
over there, they've done their own, Adelaide have done their own version of the slide, which is happening all around the country.
Yes.
Exactly.
Jars and Bluey.
Yes.
Dr. Evil and Ron Burgundy, is that right?
Yes, they did do that. So a bit different here, as you said. No slide into the ice. The ice pours down from the top. So
Right.
Ron Burgundy, Bluey trying to do Ron Burgundy's accent. Well, he somehow gets back to an Indian accent every time he tries to do one. So trying to be cool just sort of fell a bit flat.
Didn't look too bad, though, as Ron Burgundy.
No,
got
he
the
actually
look
looked.
right.
He looked really good.
He always looks
And
good,
Dr.
Bluey.
Evil, Jars didn't even have to dress up. He just went as himself.
Just bit his little finger.
Yeah,
Just
bit
put his
like
little
Fat.
finger in.
Fat
Yeah.
can do a bloody good Dr. Evil, too.
He just
Get in my stomach.
No, that's Fat
belly.
Bastard.
That's the other one.
It's a different character.
And it's belly. But anyway.
Hey, now I've got something.
Oh, what do you
Oh,
got?
You've got
Fat's
something.
got
I
something.
brought something to the table.
Hello.
So, an insight into our great leader here, Jim Bob.
Yep.
Right.
Oh,
we all look
yes.
up to him.
We
Of
do.
course you do.
And
Sometimes.
during the week, we had the great Peter Garrett on live, and he was great. He was fantastic.
Oh,
Spoke
Dr. Evil.
about the Bombers. The Oils are 45 years old. There's a doco coming out soon, so he was on. He was up. Of course, he's been outspoken and very political. Okay.
Yep. Thank you, Bill.
He was up and about. Anyway.
We all know
Get to the
Pete.
point.
Anyway, our rock guru here is
Yeah.
Rosemary or Jim, right? Jim's very
Rosemary
good.
is
Jim.
the- she-
Jim's
Rosemary
into
is
it, right?
Yeah.
But
Is
he's
he?
trying to get into the rock chat, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
He's
no.
trying to feel part of this chat with the great Peter Garrett. He's trying to get in,
He didn't.
feel part of it. Have a
Good words.
listen
No.
to this
No,
question
no.
he asked
Jim.
Peter Garrett.
And I have seen the Oils, I reckon, 3 times, Pete.
Live?
Live, and
Yep.
I've loved every single bit of it. And as a very poor drummer in a kids band when I was 18, I'm very poor. I am a big Rob Hurst fan. What a up he is.
Jim, what has that got to do with you being a drummer in a kids
Because,
band?
do you know who Rob Hurst is?
Yeah, the drummer.
Well, thank you, Bill.
Yes.
So that's why I said I'm a big fan of his,
I know.
because as a kid...
But why do you exert yourself into that?
Because, Bill, it's called a conversation.
No, it's not. That was just
No,
weird.
that's exactly what it
I
is.
was taken aback, and I think Pete was taken aback.
It's called a
Taken
conversation,
aback.
Bill.
Yeah. So we got some bit of oils here. Jim, just give us a come on. Get on the
He
drums.
used to, I'll tell you what he used to do.
Come on,
Rob.
Jim.
Get on the eardrums, Jim.
Come
He used
on.
to have the cut-off sleeves and the big cannons.
No.
Big
Yeah.
arms.
Jim.
There
Jim.
he goes.
There you
Oh,
go,
look
Jim.
at Roy
Come on, Jim.
Didn't you do a skit for the footy show
Yeah,
on the
don't
drums?
you
I
remember
reckon
that
you
fact?
did.
Yes.
And very well, too.
A poor drummer in a kids
yeah, no,
band.
that's what I was.
yeah.
Now, you got a big day Monday, Jim.
I know.
going down
Well, we've
as
got Joel
one of...
Selwood coming up shortly, who's one of the 9 sliders. So,
Well, he's one of 9.
so we'll cover the slide off with him.
I've just put together, though, with a little bit of help from Bill. Are you going to help me on this bit, Bill? or
I
not?
am, yeah.
A top 5 must-do list for you on Monday.
Top 5.
Well,
Okay.
well,
And
Mike,
you know
top
what
five.
number 1 is?
Well, number 1 is this one. He must be Triple M Jim, not Channel 7 Jim.
Oh,
He
yes.
can't be the boring,
Straight, boring.
risk-averse,
Yes.
suck the life out of everything Jim.
Jim.
Okay, Jim?
Are you listening?
Need to be Triple M Jim.
I know what the number 1 is. Do
Charisma.
whatever you didn't do.
No.
And so therefore be remotely entertaining. Because you're the most boring slider that we've ever had.
I had the best dismount.
That wasn't on purpose. That's
You
'cause
slipped.
You're that fat
Oh, gee, I'd
that the
slip.
thing went out from underneath you.
Had to
don't-
go last.
You didn't get the significance of the Assumption College
No,
jumper.
one did.
No one did.
No one did.
No
Neil
one did.
Danaher
Even
was
Neil
the great.
didn't.
Yeah.
Yes, well, Neil
didn't.
played for Assumption, you
Well,
idiot.
explain it. Is
So-
that
Yeah.
it?
Exactly.
Well,
A row
people
is
didn't
singlet.
get that.
No one
No,
rowed.
no one did.
You didn't row. Neil didn't row.
Yeah.
No, that was a jumper, a footy jumper, you idiot. Plus, I had my little dickies on and I looked good. The BBs.
The other thing
Wes,
you can't do, Jim, is you can't get out of the water and say, gee, that was cold.
Like
we
Fat
we
did.
know it's cold,
Well,
right?
that's what
We know
Fat-
that.
Again, that's what Fat did.
So hang on. Triple M, Jim.
Yep.
So a bit
don't
of
say,
fun.
Don't say it's, gee, it's cold.
Cold, yep.
You can't talk cricket, okay, because there's a proper cricketer doing
There
a
is.
slide by the name of Meg Lanning.
I agree. She is a legend.
And you were a little
I don't
two-bit
talk-
cricketer
I
anyway.
don't talk cricket anyway, unless people ask me. Then I'm an expert.
Triple M, gee, it's cold.
Yep.
No cricket talk. Yep.
Number 4, you need to know your place. Now, there's 9 sliders.
Yes.
You're a distant 9th
Where-
in the status and clout of the 9.
I've got a couple
You just
of them
need to
covered,
know
surely.
No, you
probably
haven't.
what do you reckon you should
Who
bat,
you got
Bill?
covered?
Where's
I
the
don't know.
least important number to bat? About 6 or 7 if there's 9?
7.
7. Yeah, 7, I
So-
reckon, yeah.
Yeah, no, because
you don't want to go first or last.
Adam Gilchrist batted 7.
So you haven't got-
Changed the game.
They had
Meg
a 9
Lanning.
we're talking.
You haven't got Pat Ruff. you haven't
Literally
got
changed
Aaron.
the whole face.
Well, he
of the
changed
way
the game as an
cricket's
opener in
played
one-day
from 7.
cricket.
So
No.
that's me.
And then the other thing, Jim, and you remind all of us on
Yes.
this, you're representing all of us on
Well,
Monday
that's
too.
what I said
and
to
this
Fat
is the
when he
thing.
embarrassed us.
All our brands are at stake with what you
I
do
agree.
on Monday. And,
I agree.
and you need to bring it a little bit to the
Well,
table.
as I said, the bar is that low. If all I've got to do is be more entertaining
Yes,
than
you
you
do.
were,
Yeah.
then I can achieve that with my eyes closed.
Triple M, Jim. Not
Right.
Channel 7.
Not Channel 7,
Oh,
Jim.
here we go. Bounce to the ball.
Nice
now.
kick
Get
down
the
the line.
down the
Yeah,
line.
yeah.
And then
Inside
on Triple
50
M.
count.
Oh, look at that. They're in there in the carcass. Look at them go. I've never seen two different blokes.
But you've got to be able to have gears
No.
and
No.
range.
You know what you gotta
You
have?
can't be the same act. That well, maybe you can, but everyone else can't be the same idiot for their whole life. You've got to be able to wear different hats.
you know what
Inside
else
50
you gotta
counts,
have?
25 to 22.
What?
Yeah.
That's Channel
And
7, Jim.
What you've got to have when you do your sports nights? Charisma. You got to have charisma.
That's no issue. Don't worry about the Riz. There's plenty of that.
Can you
Now-
tell us what you're wearing yet? It's
No,
a
I can't.
secret.
No, not allowed to do that. But I'll tell you what I did
See,
today.
boring.
I'm driving along Beach Road.
Oh, here we go. Traffic.
No, too many cyclists.
Too many cyclists.
I'm driving along, and coming the other way was a great big black gangster Land Rover Defender, fully pimped.
Pimped.
Fully pimped.
Pimped.
And behind the wheel was a bald man with the rock star, speaking of rock star, aviators.
Yes.
I think they might have been a gold frame with a black lens.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Ooh.
C. Judd, 3 votes.
No.
I hit send on the phone. I said, "Did you just drive past me in a fully blinged black Defender?"
no.
He goes, "Yep, that's me."
What's he doing?
I don't know, but I love the look. I love the look of the man.
Was he by himself?
Well, I think so. I
Yeah.
didn't get a good enough look into the cabin, but doesn't care.
No, he doesn't.
No. Does not give a stuff.
Does not care. And the other bit we picked up during the week in an interview, Fat, was our man, the Duke,
Yes.
saying next time
Yeah.
his young bloke does something memorable, which will be the first minute of his next game because he's a star,
Goal or big mark.
he's going all Peter Dacos.
That's what he said.
Well,
Because what about the
he
other day
was.
when his
It was
kid
bad,
kicked a
wasn't it?
really good goal and he's
Yeah.
just sitting in the commentary? Gave nothing.
Nothing.
He kicked the
Nothing.
match winner. That was the
Exactly.
match winner,
Yeah, yeah.
Bill.
Yeah, and he's third for the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's now got 22 goals from 11 games, and you're right, it will be the next minute he plays, Jim.
Well,
he's still got one
because
more
he's
week
a
to
bloody
miss.
star. Well, either that or we just train the camera onto Beck.
Yeah,
Far more
Yeah,
entertaining
he would've been,
person
yeah,
anyway, and she'll
exactly.
give us something and enjoy it.
Just a fist pump or
Something.
something.
Were you
Something.
impressed
Duke.
with Simon O'Donnell's work last night?
I like
Yeah.
the big goober.
Yeah.
No, he's young bloke goes all right.
Goes really well.
Out of a category B, 3 years of not playing a game of football.
Playing as a forward last night.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like what he does. Marsland Studios, until the commentators lob, they're not far away for the Hawks and GWS. And interesting narrative around the Hawks and how well they're going. They've had a really nice month and a bit, Damo. And comparing to West Coast and North Melbourne, where all three, in a lot of ways, have cut very deep. All three lists have been decimated and restructured and go back through the draft, and you would have to say that Hawthorn are well in front of the other two in how that's looking. It's a very dangerous thing to do for me to cut as deep as the three clubs have, because you expose young talent to having to do it on their own without experienced bodies and minds around them. Now, I have no doubt the North Melbourne, West Coast and Hawthorn will eventually get it right, and when they do, they'll be in good shape because they've had access to really good high-end talent. But, geez, you expose your club to a lot of pain in the process.
You do, and the development of those players you've got access to through the high draft picks is then key as well. And as you rightly say, with those guys playing matches in a bad team against good opposition, it can be damaging. And I think it has been for quite a few players. The turnaround in Hawthorn, it's almost too simplistic to link it to one person, but Will Day missing the first 6 matches of this season. Just line that up with the 0-5 start to the year that the Hawks had and his return coinciding with the turnaround. Now, what it has done has allowed other midfielders, Warple, to re-emerge, for Jai Newcomb to re-emerge.
Yes.
And then you see what happened last week, where he was just brilliant in that big win that the Hawks had, and Dylan Moore, Bill, kicking 5 goals down forward.
Mate, Dylan Moore had 27 disposals and kicked 5 goals. So he was outstanding. You're right, Jack Ginnivan.
Ginnivan's been a good pickup.
He had his best game, I reckon, last week.
Yep.
Will Day is a genuine star, and you're right with Newcomb and those boys just jumping on the back.
But they were struggling until Will Day came back. But, I mean, back to your initial point, Jim, I mean, there was one stage that I think the view was that Hawthorn was the one of that trio of clubs that had cut deepest.
Yep.
Obviously, the decision, and I was really critical of it, just from a season 2023 perspective, with Mitchell and O'Meara being deliberately traded out within contract. And we saw Mitchell go and actually get Norm Smith medal votes in a grand final win for his new club. We've seen O'Meara starting to play a really key role with the Fremantle team. Now, they clearly have football left in them. How much is the relevant point? And Sam Mitchell made the decision, rightly for his sake, to take them out while they were at this stage of their development. And that has helped, obviously, Newcomb and Warple assume the leadership of that midfield group.
He's done well, Sam Mitchell. They reckon he's totally different to the way he played, of course. But I reckon he's been a very good coach. And the players love him. Ginnivan, he loves him.
They do. And what I also like too, Bill, when they were 0-5, and even after they got a win, they then had another bad loss.
Yeah.
He's not afraid publicly to let the world in, just partially, never the specifics, but just let them know that I'm not happy with this. And I've told my players that. And it's always done respectfully, but in a way that is very strong as well.
Well, I think it's really important too, and he is a good example of this, of if you're going to cut as deep as they have in West Coast and North, Adam Simpson, I really admire the club and him, because he's got to chaperone them through this now. You know, they're going to have some really hard times. And to have a premiership coach and a man as respected as Adam Simpson to basically manoeuvre West Coast through these next couple of years. So that's where I feel for Al Clarkson. I mean, he knew what he was taking on. But the people that cut as deep as they did at North aren't there anymore.
No.
So they've left the carnage for this current footy department to pick up and try and, polish, if you like.
Well,
and
there's no defence to speak of, is there? I mean, Aiden Core is effectively the tallest and biggest player in a depleted defence.
I know Combin, I think, is going to be a decent player, but he's a kid. Griffin Logue isn't playing. He's not far away. And he'll make a big difference when he comes back, I'm sure. But
Nick Lucky doesn't have the support down forward in that big man sense. And again, I know they'll argue that Callum Coleman-Jones was meant to be one of those options there, and he's now injured with an Achilles. And Logue could have swung forward as well, and you've already referenced him from the backline perspective.
They look good on paper, Purple, and this is what I always say. Non-footy people love a rebuild. They go, he's crap, get rid of him, got to get rid of them, get rid of him. But, and it sounds good, and it looks good on paper.
Yeah.
But when you're left with actuality, it is bloody tough.
Yep.
Yeah.
And these three clubs are finding that, but Hawthorn are comfortably ahead of the other two in the bounce back.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that aspect of it. Just jumping around these conversations, and you're talking about the kids at North. again, they're struggling and they are battling, but they've now got two of the leading names on the bookmakers charts when it comes to Wardlaw and McKercher, who are going to be able to accept the 2024 Rising Star Award on the back of Sam Darcy and Harley Reid now being ruled ineligible.
And you could, not much as I'm a Harry Sheasel fan, I think everyone is, you could argue that he won last year's because Will Ashcroft nuked his knee.
Yep.
So they might end up with two, I don't want to say by default, because they're fine footballers. The Wardlaw's going to be, once he gets, a bit like Harley Reid, once he gets an AFL tank, Wardlaw is going to rip the competition. He's going to be like Lenny Hayes. He's a beauty, George
You've always
Wardlaw.
been big on him, yeah.
So,
I mean, but
why
again,
then, with these great midfielders and the small blokes, why wouldn't even in the mid-season draft they go for a bigger?
I don't know.
Why wouldn't
I'd
they
love
go for
to find that out.
Bigger player,
like Blight
Tim?
from Peel Thunder, a ready-made big defender.
A big defender
Yeah, I
or
know.
forward. Why wouldn't they do that?
I don't know. Everyone who watches North from afar thought the same thing. You've got the pick now gone 2 to Richmond, and apparently made a big impression in his first game in the VFL for Richmond.
Did he?
I said the same thing. Why wouldn't you just grab him and put him in your back half? But
Even Hutchison.
I'm not inside the tent, Fat, so it's hard to know. But
Isn't that a great story? The young boy that got picked up by the West Coast Eagles played waffle, kicked 5, and now he's going to play.
starting.
Starting.
It's awesome, isn't it?
That is a great story.
Yeah,
that.
it is.
Well, you got John Newcomb, you got Sam Durham, you got some kids that have come to the mid-season draft and had real impact.
Johnny Noble's the most
Johnny
famous
Noble,
one, who's
yep.
now got 100 games to his name on the back of it. And again, the most famous story itself was Marlon Pickett's debut game in the 2019 grand final. That's the biggest pickup in that mid-season.
So what about GWS? So this game's about to get underway. We've spoken about the Hawks. GWS, are we buying? Are they buying stock?
Well, they returned to form last week in a significant way, didn't they? And I like what they did, but they needed to. Yeah, look, the people that I speak to, Jim, when they refer to the numbers that are attached to performance, I don't put a lot of weight on them, but some people do, as you know. They're still saying their numbers are good and their
best team is really good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Once they get their absolute best out there.
But
the
injuries
the talent
today,
is-
they're going to be exposed again at some stage today in that midfield group because Kelly's still out, Canelio is out, and they're key players. And I'm a massive fan for Finn Callaghan, but he's not just seasoned enough right now to be assuming he's going to be what he absolutely will be in a few years' time, that being a regular midfielder contributor of that higher nature. I mean, what he's done to this point has been quite extraordinary, but he's not just there yet. So, yeah, a midfield like Hawthorn's today will test them.
Yeah, well, there's a big difference, Fat, if you're coming into the competition as a young, really talented midfielder. There's a big difference between coming in as the fourth banana.
That's right.
Or coming in as the number one at 18, 19. It's a lot harder to do that.
Spot on. There's no doubt about that. They had the bye last week, didn't they, the Giants? So they beat Geelong the week before that. Yeah, so down there. But they haven't been as good or as I suppose united, it doesn't seem, as the last couple of years, I reckon. They've had a couple
started
of...
well. The first month and a
but
bit
they've
was
dropped
really
away,
good.
haven't they?
Yeah, they
They've
did
dropped
lose.
away.
I think it was 4 or 5, Bill, prior to the Cats win. But there was enough in that, I felt, to reignite their hopes and the way they do think
Our
of
man
it.
Tubesy's down there. They've just had the
Tubesy.
toss. Tubesy.
Tubes.
Yeah, fellas, good morning or good afternoon to you, fellas. It's good to have you back, JB. Always good to chat. Remember last time we talked, I was in level 4, supposed to be on the boundary, then I left
And then
the
you buggered
three-quarter time. Now the commentators can't even turn up to Launceston. It's a big day here in Lonnie.
Tubesy.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful
Is it?
here, JB. Yeah.
How many people? Because they
Not a
can
lot.
often get the count wrong down there, Tubes.
No, we'll launch into. There's 7,000 here already.
Right.
The umpires were diverted to Hobart because of the
Right.
fog. They managed to make it here, but the calling team here at Triple M, Baz, Tim and Jono, have been circling around Launceston getting the scenic tour of Epping Forest Roadhouse, which is a great place to get a toasted sandwich.
Oh,
and a-
he's doing ads now too, Jim.
Have a listen to
Come on,
Tubesy.
Purple. Toby Green won the toss, fellas. He's kicking to the northern end or left of your radio dial. We'll give you some updates, and hopefully the commentary team will be here soon.
All right, well, we're looking forward to that. We can talk you through a bit of off-screen commentary.
It's one of our favourites has gone to Jesse Hogan. Frosty.
Big Frost.
Frosty has
Frostball.
gone to Jesse, so that is a good match up there.
And the Frostball's been in good nick, actually.
So is Jesse Hogan. There's
Yes.
a story there. There's a really, really good story, isn't there?
It is because when he got there, he was considered an afterthought. And
Third club.
after Melbourne and Fremantle experiences not working out the way they were meant to, and they gave him a chance, and they knew that he wasn't going to be able to get his body through a full season initially, but he now does get through a full season, and he's very important.
Well, we're underway. Now, by the way, where's the fog? There's
Yeah.
no fog there, Fat. It's a beautiful day.
It's lifted.
Giants get to half forward, but kick it out of bounds on the full, so the Hawks will take over at half back.
That back line of the Hawks, you said Frosty's gone to Hogan, but Weddle's emerging, isn't he? And Sicily returning now that he's back again and controlling it. And you've got the running players, Impey and Eamon. It's a nice mix.
Mabsy
How many phones would he have down his
He'd only
line,
take
Jim?
one down the
Only
line.
just one
He
down the
doesn't need
line.
any more than one. He's taking this mark,
Oh.
Mabs. Played on, got around about 5, got around his 6th. And then he goes with a left foot mung inside 50 that doesn't really work. There might be a chance top of the square here, the Hawks. Not sure they're going to be. They can chain it out. GWS. Someone said to me the other day that Weddle reminds me of, this is a person saying it to me,
Yeah.
of the Lizard. I said,
there's a bit of
that.
not as fast,
No,
has
sizzle.
got shoulders,
I think he is as fast.
and not as good a user as our man, the Lizard.
Oh,
He's
mate,
not
he's
the
a
Lizard.
superstar, the Lizard.
He is. You've got the big three at the Swans, haven't you, with Warner, Goulden and Heaney, and they're the massive three. But he's only a short half head behind, isn't he, in making that the
Intercept
a
mark
rockstar
from
quartet.
Sicily, I agree.
He'll do that all day, Jim.
He will.
Sicily.
And off a step two, he hits Ginnivan at half back. That's the other thing he does. Distributes the ball, Sicily, magnificently. They're going through Big Mabsy is again.
Only the one today, you reckon?
Well, he
Only
needs
one.
the one down there.
No, I think he's got
he
a
knows
couple.
what his market looks like.
Down there.
So he's thinking it's Launceston. I'll just take the one.
Did he ever actually say that he's got three, or did you just make that up?
2 phones. No, he
Oh,
had two at Richmond.
I thought you said he had three.
Well,
Bill.
he might have added one.
Jim adds a bit of mayo.
No, he only had 2 at Richmond, but he had to put a boy on. He did get very busy there for a while. As unable to keep it in green, and the ball goes out of play, and that's deliberate. So the Hawks will get a free kick here on the wing.
Listen to the crowd. That's
Oh, they're
a
up and
huge
about.
crowd, isn't it? Hear that in the background? That's where you're from.
Nash.
Leroy?
I dominated in Launceston for 5 years.
Dominated.
Never have even
LAFM.
played
That,
on field.
Leroy, as they
Launceston's
go along.
defence.
Mabs again. Got the ball on a string,
He's
Fat.
on fire.
Outside 50, Mabsy Chol. Now he sticks a real ordinary ball in. A bit of Parkeroon attached to that, Mabs.
Well,
Kicks it out.
twice now he's done that, Jim.
To be thrown in.
Just kick it to the top of the
Just a
square. Don't try
normal
and
ball.
hit someone up out in the pocket there.
No score as yet. We've played 2 minutes, by the way. 2 inside 50s for the Hawks and 1 for GWS.
No, there's no fog, Jim.
No fog. I don't understand why the Whitfield picks it up and then coughs it straight up. Haynes unable to go anywhere with the footy. Deer wrapped up in a tackle. Ball up forward half here for the Hawks.
Exactly right. Throws it straight up. Oh,
Oh,
nice.
here he is,
Ginnivan.
Ginnivan with a snap, but can't drag it around far enough. That's out in the full. Or it might have been touched off the boot. We'll wait on the umpire.
He had 5 shots at goal last week, Guinea, and 2-3, Jim. So kicking not on or in sync at the
He's
moment.
also got a brown and gold headband out of the merch shop. I don't know why he's going with that one. You get the black one back on and get your hands dirty, Jackie boy. Worked forward by Reeves.
Big
Haynes
Reevesy.
went to ground. Big Reaver.
Goes all right, Big Reevesy.
Well, he was out of the side for a while.
Yeah, Lloyd Meek was going
Big Lloyd
so
Meek.
well, so he got his chance again with his unavailability.
Yep. Repeat stoppage here for the Hawks inside forward 50. And here's a free kick to Moore for a high contact, I reckon. I'm not sure it was there.
No, it wasn't
You
there.
sure?
No, not sure about that, Jimmy boy.
I'm not sure it was there either. But Dylan Moore coming off 5.
5 goals won and 27 disposals last week.
Can kick the first here for the Hawks. As we're in the South Melbourne studios, he goes around on the left, Hills. And as it
just
touched on the line,
No.
I reckon it's there.
It looked like he was 20 metres out and
Yep.
went around the
And
corner. on
barely
the
made the distance.
And only just made the distance here.
Starting the game with tape all over his mush, still Moore. No, that's a goal.
Oh, well,
Be
sure.
complete.
You saying
At this
no?
angle, we can see the ball's touched, but ball crossing the back of the goal line. Decision on the scoreboard.
Didn't go over the padding.
How do you not make the distance from 20?
Because he went around the corner on his left foot. No, Dilser, go back and put it through.
Kick a proper drop punt.
It's frustrating.
That's just a behind.
Oh, look at the goal ump.
Weird looking
Stucker.
goal ump's got
Oh,
the
look at-
biking sunnies on. What's he thinking?
And a mustaka.
He got the real weird look about him.
Still no fog either.
Not
Jim.
a scintilla of fog as Taylor takes the mark.
He can play this bloke, Jim.
Apparently, Bill.
There's
I
not a
know
cloud
you
in the
like
sky,
it.
Jim.
I know you like it.
It's a beautiful day at Launceston.
No, we think our commentators have just gone to the rubbity.
It's straight
They
there.
just couldn't be stuffed actually turning up to work as Closed down out of the middle, Himmelberg, but he swings it to the outer side. 1 point, by the way, to no score.
Exactly. How will Jackie Gunston go today? Because I think he had a couple last week, they tell me.
Whitfield to half forward, jams it inside 50 and a mark taken.
You're going well with the names here too, Jim, for a game you haven't prepared for.
Yeah.
Haven't done no preparation as Jess Hogan thought about passing it off, but he's about 48 from home, tight angle.
Never going to pass it off to him.
Used to turn up to Melbourne training on a skateboard.
That's right, you too.
Jess Hogan. I'm not sure that the management were happy with that. No helmet on or anything, just literally
Oh, there's a stutter. I love his stutter.
little sewing machine steps. Now he goes to the top of the square, an easy mark in the end for Big Reaver.
Big
Reevesy.
Reaver.
Ed Reeves. So 1 point Hawthorn. As
He's
Jarman
old
Impey
man
takes
nowadays, Jim.
it. Was
Damo?
the CEO.
Well, he left.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Good man,
An
Reaver.
arrangement out of the racism investigation. It wasn't solely the reason, but
Farcical review.
yeah, well, that was your and my view on that, Jim.
Yeah,
Good
so,
man he is.
Giath, a little kick.
Because he was at Geelong there for a while, wasn't he?
No, he's good. Very good boy. He's the brother of Reeves. Who got
Reaver.
Mike,
Yeah,
who got married at the Waverley that time.
When he got knocked out.
Sicily down the line. Good mark taken by Newcomb.
Oh, John Newcomb.
John Newcomb goes inboard now. Mabsy Charles everywhere. Just take the kick. He can hit Mabs. That's better.
Better
Long
kick.
ball forward. Frontal contact. No, nothing. Ginnivan thought he was about to receive it free and didn't.
No.
But Newcomb takes a very nice mark across half forward here for the Hawks. Too far out to score, John Newcomb. Called to play on. Handball to Sicily. Flying shot's going to miss. Second behind here for the Hawks. They are two behinds. GWS haven't scored.
And all the attacking, the Hawks, they've been good.
They have.
Connor Iden.
Connor Iden.
What a good player he's been for the Giants.
Brilliant. Giants off half back.
Oh,
Not able to find D'Ambrosio. It was Cal Ward with him, and kick's going to go out of play, out of sight on the wing. Hawthorn two behinds. GWS haven't scored. As we just get ready for our commentary team to arrive. What about Cement Head? What a player he's been, Cal Ward.
300. Did he play
Yep.
300?
Star.
Cement Head.
Absolute star of the game. I'm not sure he likes being called Cement Head.
No, well,
I think it's a
don't
bit
say
like
it.
Microphone Head.
No,
He
exactly
didn't
right.
like it either early on.
But he had that nickname back at the Bulldogs.
No, he
He
did.
did.
He did.
What's
Absolutely.
on the Savo, Damo?
Not sure. As the ball goes inside forward 50 here, Jess Hogan leads in the race, goes to ground and taken out of play.
We going
by
for a
Scrimshaw.
hamburger after this? Or?
We might go for a hamburger and a bit of Macca's. Might have a frothy, actually.
Hawthorn two behinds. GWS haven't scored. 4 inside 50s to 3, so not a lot happening in this game.
No.
Swan Hill, they're
In fact,
racing.
Fat's actually looking at the racing more comprehensively than the footy.
3-day carnival at Swan Hill,
Is it
my
really?
friend. Oh, look, over 975 metres. It's just the lickety split, this one.
The Vermin Steel handicap. Who the hell are Vermin Steel?
Oh, that's a steel
Hey,
manufacturer.
It's a 3-day carnival at Swan Hill.
Oh, mate.
Bill.
Himmelberg
Yeah.
inside 50
Yesterday,
he goes,
today,
looking
tomorrow.
for Hogan, can't find him. Toby Green, never ring us again, Toby. Just a little fumble, then he might have been
gutsy.
taken high.
Who was that running back with the ball? That was fantastic.
No free, and the ball up inside forward 50 here for GWS. So we're virtually halfway through this first quarter and two behinds to no score. So it's not a ring-a-ding-ding, Fat.
No, it's not a
Not one
ring-a-ding.
for the ages.
The Nang Stars won at Swan Hill, if anyone's interested.
I don't think anyone's interested. Ball's gone out of play on the wing and deliberate. So Haynes is going to be able to bring it back in for GWS. Quick release.
Deliberate.
You like deliberate?
Yes, come on up. It's deliberate all day, every day. Oh,
And,
Every time you call a game at Launceston, Jim, does it remind you of the Buddy Franklin 13?
doesn't.
'Cause you were there
It
that day.
doesn't. It reminds me of our man, the Duke,
Yeah.
asking Adam Simpson if he'd had his
Was that at Launceston?
snip reversed. And Simo turned around and said, well, I haven't even told my family that.
Oh.
Even Mum and Dad aren't aware of the fact that
Duke
that's...
said that asked
Duke
him.
asked him on air.
It was an awkward
It
moment.
was very awkward. Simo.
His
no, I haven't
information was
actually even
right.
told my mum and dad that.
Yeah, at least the information was right.
No, information
yeah,
right,
but it
but
just
probably
hadn't
too
told.
personal to go with. As Will Day,
Oh, he's
out of
a
the
star.
stoppage, gets past Green, drops it into the path of Mabior Chol. And that's deliberate. Jeez, Yumpies are hot on that. Mabs can't believe
I
it.
can't believe it. He's got the phone out.
Yes. doubt he has.
He's got it out.
Yeah, he's saying, listen, when I get back to Melbourne, you might want to meet me at the airport. That's what he's saying, Nabs.
Because I'm on fire here early.
Whittle's dropped that mark, but able to pick it off. There is Ward, a handball off to Hogan, who went to ground. Day went and found the footy and slices through traffic beautifully. Hawthorn on the march down the outer side here at Launceston. Kick inside 50. Doesn't quite get to 50. McDonald takes it.
McDonald.
He'll take his best from there. He drops a short one to Ginnivan.
Oh, now, he's got to go back. He can't go around the corner. He's
That
too far
headband's
out.
not right.
No, it's not right.
I like it.
It looks
What's
like
happening, Leroy? Oh, the boys are there.
Looks
All right,
like
Baz,
the
Tim and Jono.
Tubes.
Get to you in a second, Tubes. He's
Hang
just seeing if he can drop any more local products into the call.
Call this
dropped
goal.
the cafe.
Call this goal, Jimmy, and then we'll hand it
All
over to
right,
him.
Jack Ginnivan.
He's-
Take over, you bloke. Baz, Denner, the
Yes.
people's caller for
Yes,
Christ's
I'm
sake.
here. I'm here. I'm
All
just
right.
here with a couple of very petrified members of our team after the plane flight.
What the hell's
Well
going
done, boys.
on, Baz?
There's no
Well,
photo,
here's
Baz.
Ginnivan's set shot, so we'll steer this one through. It's coming back.
Yes. Post.
It's missing to the outer side. So 3 points, plays no score. Take over, Baz, for Christ's sake.
Ring a ding
Thanks,
ding,
JB.
Baz.
Good on you, Billy. And yeah, we're here. We've made it.